Good afternoon, it's Steve Brinson again from the Muscle Testing Academy, and again I'm from my office. I probably won't always share something from inside these four walls, and for the time being it's convenient at the end of the day to sit back, ground myself, which I do every day, and reflect on some of the transformations that have happened in this room, and share with you a story or two. So I know I've been talking about personal stories. I shared my story of climbing to the top of Devil's Chasm last Saturday, visiting the Native American Indian ruin there, the challenges that were overcome there or had to be conquered, and the experiences that took place in that climb. And a friend asked me today, sent me a text, "Hey, did you take any pictures while you were there?" A friend who actually was with me the first time I hiked the Devil's Chasm. And so I sent him a few pictures, and I said, this is probably the last time you'll see any pictures from me from Devil's Chasm. So it's a memorable experience, a great story, and great opportunity. So, the question you might ask yourself, what are the stories you're creating in your life? What are the challenges? What are the stories you're currently going through or experiencing in your relationships with significant others? If you're married, in that domain. If you're not, in the domain of relationships. What are your experiences currently, the challenges, the difficulties, the goals you're dealing with around finances and around your own sense of personal identity? A couple times in the last couple days, I have worked with people from mid-30s to late 60s who are saying, I don't know who I am. I'm trying to figure out who I am. I've done this and this and this, but I still don't know who I am. So that's a story. That's a quest to find out who one is, who you are inside, and to come to terms with that. I'm gonna share a real quick short story with you today. I'm gonna share this right here. This is my bookshelf, and here's some of the things on the bookshelf. This is a statue of Christ and the Lamb that's made out of olive wood. I purchased that in Israel way too many years ago, 38 years ago about this time, and it was handmade by one of the artisans there. He used to have his name on it. Every couple of years I bathe this in some olive oil to bring it back to life and recharge it. And let me just kind of tell you about this little stick right here. This is a stick and a little flag on it from a Native American prayer circle. And here's a story about how that was created. I have a really good friend now who was tapped into me, called me one Tuesday morning, said, hey, actually his friend said, I got somebody who wants to do some personal work therapy, and I can't refer him to my spouse's therapist, but I would like to have him come see you. So I talked to my mom. This guy said, talk to my mom, and she said, hey, go see Steve Brinton. He does therapy on steroids. So I contacted this guy, talked to him, and I said, hey, tonight, it was a Tuesday night then, we're doing an introduction to our Muscle Testing Academy, and so why don't you come? Well, he showed up, his sister-in-law, and the story about, he has a real interesting story, but I'll just share her story. So in the muscle testing experience, from the audience who would like to have a muscle testing experience to come and sit in the chair. So I bring a portable, gravity-free lounge chair, set it up, and we kind of muscle test who gets to have the opportunity. And this guy's sister-in-law raised her hand, and the muscle testing said, yeah, her. She can come sit in the chair. So her situation had to deal with, she was living with her mother, caretaking her elderly mother. And I don't know if you've ever had the experience of living with a parent or taking care of an elderly parent. That's really quite the adventure. At one time, we had Joyce's dad and mom live with us. Her dad lived with us for a year before he transitioned, moved on. And then her mom would live with us another 4 years. And as wonderful as it is, it's a very challenging experience. So this woman came and she sat in the chair and she just said, I just can't deal with this anymore. Of course, the basic things that play out of that is like, if you go back home and live with your mom, what's going to come up? Power and control issues. I call it codependency issues, where you're taking on, absorbing all the energies of the emotions of that person. And whatever you never finished up with them in your childhood, think back to your relationship with your mom. Whatever dynamic you didn't get complete before you left was showing up in hers. Because when they move in, that's what happens. So we worked on that. And as we walked her through that conversation, that experience, and as we did the verbal releasings, the forgivenesses, her face began to change, began to shift, began to transform. She got lighter and lighter. More and more light came from her face. And when she was done, she goes like, wow, I really think I can go home and be with my mom. And so she did. And later on, she came in for another session. She brought me this prayer circle, something that she used in a Native American prayer circle, and said, I want to gift this to you because the work that you did was so powerful, transforming. I can now be with my mom. I can survive it and do quite well. I'm on friendly terms with her. So, nice little story of transformation. A nice little gift from her to me. I do have a real tender spot within me about Native Americans. I'm not sure where it came from. It's just always been there. So for me, it's a privilege to be able to do this type of work with her, to touch hearts, to help people find healing and transformation within themselves, and to find some happiness, and mostly peace. Almost without exception, everybody who experiences the muscle testing tells you that at the end, like, they feel peace. So leaving that with you, I hope that in your stories, your pathways, your challenges in life, that as you overcome those oppositions, the difficulties, that you will find peace through the process and in the end, finally. So thanks, take care. We are, for those who missed it, we are starting this Friday a 2-day basic muscle testing class where we focus very intensely on forgiveness, teaching you how to create a forgiveness, how to verbalize it, and how to effectively use forgiveness. And when you do a forgiveness, you literally experience the energy in your body moving and releasing and moving on. Powerful, powerful tool. And how to blend that with the experience of muscle testing. An extraordinary experience. The next one after this weekend will be the first weekend in June. So mark it down. Send me a message. We'll talk about it. All right, thanks. Take care. Talk to you later.